Industrial Revolution and Modern Era. The Age of Reason, which began in the Renaissance, had a great effect on the subsequent centuries. Human curiosity and experimentation led to the Industrial Revolution of the 1700s and 1800s. This time of huge advances in chemistry and physics provided medicine with many new tools and methods. Two of the most important discoveries of the Industrial Revolution were made by Louis Pasteur and Joseph Lister. Pasteur was a chemist who worked in a winery. He wanted to determine what caused the wines to turn sour. Using a microscope, he discovered that microorganisms were to blame. He then developed a system of heating and sealing to destroy these dangerous microbes. This procedure, known as pasteurization, is still used today, specifically on milk and dairy products. Joseph Lister was a surgeon in England in the 1800s who was frustrated by the many infections his patients acquired after surgery. With the help of Pasteur's research, Lister discovered that microorganisms were responsible for infection in people. Continuing his studies, the surgeon developed methods of medical asepsis, cleaning procedures that kill microorganisms and help to eliminate infection. By the end of the Industrial Revolution, connections between the structure and function in an organism were finally known. This medical breakthrough led to many more discoveries. John Hunter inserted a feeding tube into a patient's stomach in 1778. Xavier, you could volunteer for that one. I could do that.
What?
I could put a feeding tube down you.
A feeding tube?
Yeah.
You can actually do that?
Yeah, I do it to babies, so I'm sure I could do it to you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's easy. It goes like down your nose and into your stomach.
You can do that.
It's like really small. You barely feel it.
I look, you want to try it now.
All right, I'll get one. Edward Jenner administered the first vaccination in 1796. William Beaumont fully described the digestive system in 1822. Anesthetics such as ester and chloroform were used to put patients to sleep during surgery in the mid-1800s. Elie Metchnikoff explained how white blood cells protect humans from diseases in the early 1900s. Almost every discovery during this time led to another one. The Industrial Revolution paved the way for modern medical practices. The modern medical era began in the early 1900s. The cause of infections and diseases was no longer a mystery. Scientists quickly developed treatments for many illnesses. In 1928, a major milestone was reached when, by accident, Sir Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. Penicillin is an antibiotic that is still used across the world to treat diseases caused by bacteria. Throughout the modern era, many other antibiotics and medicines have been developed. These medicines destroy disease-causing microorganisms. In turn, they have enabled people to lead longer, healthier lives in the 20th and 21st centuries. Wilhelm von Röntgen. That looks right? Röntgen also contributed to medical progress by creating a tool that changed medical procedures forever. Oh, it says it right there. Dang it. In the early 1900s, he developed the X-ray machine. This allowed physicians for the first time to diagnose illnesses and fractures without using invasive surgery. 20th century was filled with technological advances. The new technology produced rapid growth in the medical world. Francis Crick and James Watson identified the structure and function of DNA. Organs, such as kidneys and the heart, were transplanted successfully from one body into another. In vitro fertilization allowed infertile couples to have children. Childhood vaccinations completely eliminated many viral diseases. As medical treatments and procedures became more advanced, healthcare delivery became more structured and organized. Health insurance plans were developed in the 1920s to help cover the cost of healthcare. The United States government developed Medicare and Medicaid to help elderly people and low-income families pay for healthcare. Hospitals were renovated and organized into specialized units. Examples of such units include emergency rooms, intensive care units, and pediatric units. Private clinics were also opened to help care for certain illnesses. The future of medicine is full of promise. Discoveries are made almost every day. Medical innovations should be explored with great caution. However, healthcare workers must stay open-minded and flexible to adapt to new ideas. An important approach to problem solving in medical research is the application of the scientific method. Scientific method has the following 7 steps. Observation and question, which is the topic of the research, experimentation, or problem to be solved. Research, which is learning about the topic. Hypothesis, which is the predicted outcome. Experiment, which is testing the hypothesis. Collecting data is recording the experimental data. Analysis is studying the data. And the conclusion, which is comparing the hypothesis with the results.
Can you ask me a question?
Yes.
Ask me through 5 to 7.
I'm sorry?
If you ever ask me a question on this lesson, ask me from 5 to 7.
What is that?
Because that's the only one I got.
Well, you're gonna do it
Ask
next
him
time.
1 through 4.
I don't actually watch those videos.
Okay, well, you have to answer those questions because it's part of your grade.
Alright.
And there's really nothing else for you to do right now,
Okay.
except for your worksheet. But I love that you've gotten that far and your tenacity. But if you want to grade, you have to do it.
Did you get the email?
I can check.